Due to previous time constraints, we now rejoin our episode in progress as the Technodrome continues their debate over hip hop and its true golden era.
All right, so my number 5 song on my playlist, we're staying in New York. It's actually going to be A New York State of Mind by Nas from April of 94, from the critically acclaimed album Illmatic, one of the greatest rap albums in history, actually even selected to the Library of Congress for being, how do they say, historically, culturally, or aesthetically significant, which is pretty cool. This album's in the Library of Congress. So Duff, will you hit us with a little nasty Nas?
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's time. It's time. Niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this shit. Yo. The beat flows, y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J, sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo champs, laughing at bass heads, trying to sell some broken amps.
Nas. So I want to start this by saying the hook from this song, I'm sure Costanza recognizes, from Rakim's Mahogany track. And there are so many comparisons between Rakim and Nas. Rakim, obviously we said before, ahead of his time as far as a lyricist, and people will say the same as Nas, and that Nas really laid the groundwork in this later time frame for what was to come after him, because of he could just compile rhyme after rhyme, and it was just, he could go for days, man. It was just so awesome. He's like a freaking poet. It's just tremendous. What else did I have to say? He was only 19 years old when he recorded this track, which is pretty cool to think about how young he was. The sample from this track was by Kool and the Gang, a song called NT. So check that out if you want to hear where some of the drum break sample actually came from that song. Just a tremendous song. Never sleep, because sleep is the cousin of death. That's a lyric that's been, a lot of rappers have used that in their songs throughout history. And if there's any fans of the show Ozark out there, this track was heavily used in some big moments in the final season of Ozark, which got me amped up for those scenes. It was pretty cool listening to Nas on that show. So I give this song 2 thumbs up.
Ruth loves her hip hop.
Yeah, she does. Castagna, what did you think of this one?
So what I wrote about New York State of Mind is Billy Joel is one of the greatest songwriters of our generation.
Damn it. I didn't tell you who the artist was.
Oh, wrong one. It's funny. I didn't recognize the Mahogany thing. Maybe I'm a doof, but like, I know that song. It's on Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. I have to listen to both.
It's the New York State of Mind part is from that song. Like that part of the hook that's actually Rakim saying that.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha. I have In Your Face beat and vocals and lyrics. It's kind of stark sounding. It's not doubled up, so it's just the one voice cutting through, which makes it less slick sounding. More complex rhymes are kind of a throwback to Rakim. I always hear them kind of mentioned together, like Nas is like the more, well, at least at the time, more modern incarnation of Rakim. Yep. More storytelling about drugs. It's good storytelling. This is another example of awkward transitions into choruses, I think, where like the verse doesn't really seamlessly flow into where the chorus is. And the lyrics just feel very hopeless. It's portraying, kind of a hopeless environment. It gets 1 thumb up from me. Haven't listened to a lot of Nas, and it's just never resonated the way that people tell me that they think it would.
Okay.
I haven't really found my entry point to him yet, so it's okay, but not something I'd revisit on my own.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Duffy?
I'll let it slide. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, I like his style. I like how, the way he kind of flows. It's like there's beginning and end in each of his like lines, and it doesn't kind of like, bleed into the other one. It's like he says something and it's like, oh, cool. All right. Oh, all right. And I like that kind of style with what he brings there. And it is kind of like this song especially, it kind of does provide a little bit more of like, hopelessness and like, there's a lot of crap going on, but I think it fits perfectly with that reference you made with Ozark, where no spoilers here, but Ruth is going through some stuff, and she uses music as an outlet for her to feel the things that she's feeling. And I think this, going with what she was going through, it's perfect. And again, a lot of this music here, it's just, you can really connect those emotions, and that's what I love about it. And I think Nas really just provides a lot of emotion when he does a lot of his lyrics, and you can really kind of feel it when you're listening to it.
Yeah, for sure. You really get a glimpse into that life that he was, hails from Queensbridge, from Queens, New York. So a little glimpse into the life that he lived as a youngster.
Home of the
not an
New
easy
York
life.
Metropolitans.
What's that?
Queens, home of the New York Metropolitans.
That's right.
Yeah. When I say hopeless, I don't mean it as a knock either. I'm just saying
No.
that's like the theme that I'm picking up on.
That's right. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
For sure.
The lines I wrote are, in the PJs. Sorry, I can't read my handwriting. In the PJs, my blend tape plays. Bullets are strays. Young bitches is grazed. Each block is like a maze, full of black rats trapped. Plus the island is packed. From what I hear and all the stories when my peoples come back. So I'm assuming that's from Rikers.
Yeah.
Rikers Island.
Yeah.
Wasn't I supposed to make a comment about you not being able to read your own writing today?
Oh, I said that
it.
we could introduce a new segment called "Can Cass read his own handwriting?" And so far, I'm getting a side thumb on that. Considering I just did the "I need reading glasses" look at it, I was like,
Yeah, squint to make everything better.
yeah, Squint's Palador.
Yes. I have one lyric and then I'll pass it back to you, Cass, to go to your next song. The one I wrote down was, I'm taking rappers to a new plateau through rap slow, while rhyming is a vitamin held without a capsule. Thought that was pretty good. So
Yeah.
all right, that's all I
Nice.
got to say about Nas. What do you got, Cass?
Next up is Big Daddy Kane with "Warm It Up Kane" from September 19th of 1989. Let's cue up a little bit.
On the scene, and I pack a mean like Bruce Springsteen. Hop a fire style, smile, and meanwhile, put on trial of rap powder, exile. Make swift tongues like a mic out, ravage, not like a set. Warm it up, gang, 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 warm it up, gang.
Yeah, that track is just a lot of fun. It's one that, like, when they're playing this era of stuff, at a party, at a bar, at something, it comes on, it's like, okay, nice. I like this one. Great bass line, that sample. Big Daddy Kane took rhyming to the next level, in my opinion. Rakim is the one who kind of, kicked the door down, and then I feel like, Kane came in by knocking an entire wall down or something. Next level rhyming skill and dexterity, very articulate. Just slick. His whole persona, the way that he raps is slick. His whole persona was the ladies' man. He's funny. He has a great voice. It's pretty. He's able to vary it a bit. He can do like a booming low one, or kind of weave in and out. Fun groovy beat. A lot of multi-syllable internal rhymes. This is another one. The artist too. I could go on and on about. But I mean, I'd rather hear what you guys think. I think that the rhyming on here, it's like, because the track is so fun, you could kind of take for granted how good it is, and then when you actually listen to it and pay attention to what the rhymes were, it's like, oh shit, he's doing a lot on there. Scales, what'd you think?
Yeah, I give this one one thumb up. wasn't too familiar with Big Daddy Kane. I mean, I'd heard of him, but I honestly hadn't listened to probably any of his tracks before this.
Yeah.
And I will say that out of the two that were listed, right, because you listed his as the bonus track.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one later, but I did like that one better than this one. I just didn't. I felt the hook. I didn't like the hook of this one. It didn't get. I mean, the song overall just didn't get me going 100%. It didn't connect with it for some reason. I don't know. The beat was okay. It was something about it just didn't catch me. The only other note I wrote about this one was that Big Daddy Kane was influential in bringing Jay-Z up into the rap game, which for me is pretty huge because Jay-Z is one of my all-time favorites. So shout out to Big Daddy Kane. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Duff.
I give this one 2 thumbs up. I like this. Yeah, again, kind of like Scales here. I'd heard of him, never really got too much into it, and then I recognized this song when I heard it too. And it's just, again, one of those ones that kind of gets you going. It's fun. I love rappers who are able to just like incorporate speed, but also are articulate when they're able to do that. That just takes an immense amount of talent. Just being able to like breathe properly. It's just like it's a talent within itself. And
he has asthma.
Hey, that's even crazier. Look at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can always appreciate that. It's just a cool delivery that he has, and just kind of his persona that he provides. It's cool, and I enjoy this one. And this one kind of just gets you. This one gets you moving. It's a fun one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So I'd say like with anything, I think certain things you need to listen to more than once. Like my first entire listen through your playlist, Scales, I didn't like almost anything. There would be like 2 or 3 tracks, and then I listened again. It's like, okay, I like this one a little more. And so I listened through like maybe 4 times, and then certain things started to catch me just because it's not what I like generally, but I found things to like about them. So it could be if you listen to another couple times, you might like it, or you might like it even less.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with on that. Just on that point, there was the first time through, some of them didn't connect, but then second, third, fourth, fifth time, I was like, oh damn, I love these songs. They're really good.
The only thing I say about this track,
I don't know.
The only thing I say about this track I don't like is got that throwaway third verse where it's just a bunch of shout outs to people. Like I hate when rappers do that, and he does that in a few songs. It's just like, all right, let's cut it off here. The line I like, or the lines is, and if I may make this one thing here clear, that's for you not to come near, period, for I'm bugging or delirious. My swift tongue is like a sword, that's how severe it is, and I can slice and dice a Fisher-Price MC that thought he was nice into Minute Rice. I love that last part. That's awesome.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah. And Eminem was a big fan of his, too. And you could hear that in some of his more like complex rhyming.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Next.
On to the next. Number 6 for me comes from August of 1994 off the 6-time platinum Ready to Die album. This is the Notorious B.I.G. Juicy. Duffy, hit us with a little Biggie.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all my peoples in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. Shake it. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall.
Damn. Gets me in the heart every time. We all know I listed this song in the prior Throwdown as one of my favorite 90s songs in general. Biggie Smalls, rest in peace. Just a all-time classic rap song here. Juicy samples M-Tomb's Juicy Fruit from the 80s. We know Puff Daddy liked to take those hits from the 80s and make them sound so crazy. That was his trademark. And Biggie Smalls, just impeccable, man. Just so smooth. Once again, the bravado, the confidence. It's just, he paints that picture. Just this rags to riches story tells you how he started, where he's come, where the rap game started and where it's come. It's just a great story in general on this track. I mean, it just gets me emotional talking about it. Cass, what did you? I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, obviously. Cass, what were your thoughts on this one?
So I have down success story, more positive lyrics than some of the other stuff that we listened to so far, and it's an iconic song. I don't mean to be the wet blanket. I just never got the big deal with Biggie. It just, again, never really resonated. And I gave this song a few listens, and I've heard a few of his others. It's just, I just don't get it. A lot of puffy ad libs in there, like him kind of like sounds like he's half asleep in the back. Like, yeah. I was listening it with headphones. I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, shut up. Listen to the rest of it. And another one, a couple awkward transitions into the chorus. It's not a bad song. It's just like, this is one, I know is one of your favorites from the '90s. This is one that everybody knows that it was all a dream. Opening line, like when you mentioned Juicy in the '90s songs, like I don't know that one, and then I was like, oh, it was all a dream. It's I gave it a thumb up. I feel bad because it's one that hits you so hard.
Don't feel bad. It's your opinion.
Yeah, I just never really got the big deal with him, and I'm in the severe minority. I mean, look at all the people that we asked for their opinions from our friends. Like, and it's not like he's just like a fan favorite. Fans and rappers alike, all cite him. So it's just there's something that either I'm missing or something that people care about that just doesn't really, as I punch my desk and hurt my hand. Just something that's not clicking for me. Right. But it's good.
It's good.
Duffy.
2 thumbs up. I get, if you're not with us, I guess we're gonna have to just vote you out. Kiss name. Sorry.
I guess if I don't know, now I know.
That's right.
No, yeah, this is, I mean, even to today, not like I really go out anymore, but you go out and every DJ has some sort of sample of this. Someone's playing this. Like, this is just, I don't know if this is like an iconic, song to me. Biggie's just like his style. It's almost like it was effortless for him to be able to put these words together and just make them, I don't know, it just, he was just a poet, the way he was able to put these things together, and it was just like, it was amazing. I mean, you can't really deny that part. And yeah, this is just, this is iconic for me. 2 thumbs up. This is what it's all about right here, in my opinion.
Castana, did you pop for the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis? When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Yep, that's the line I wrote down. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, I couldn't picture this.
There we go.
50-inch screen, green leather. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got 2 rides, then a limousine with the chauffeur. I like the chauffeur part.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those too that like a lot of people just. I mean, I don't know all the words to it, but I know a good amount. This is one of those that's just like a lot of people just know it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Just spit it. That's it. That's all I got about. We're gonna hit another Biggie song in a minute here for me, so I'll stop there for now. And Cass, you can carry on to your next.
We're gonna have a little fun with this one. We got Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance from 3/20/90. Cue it up, Mr. Duff.
What you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round.
Yeah. How do you listen to that and not like it? It's just like
feel good
it's
music.
So fun.
Impossible.
Like the groove is so good, and then the Humpty Hump persona is so silly, but he's doing like great rhymes and great lines in this silly character. It's all over the top, like the big coat, the glasses, and this is like we talked about Shock G before. He had a few different personas that he uses.
The nose.
Or that he used. Yeah, the Groucho nose. I love it. So I wrote, fun but highly skilled. Humpty character cracks me up. Shock G was a great lyricist. That's really all I had to say about it. Just like, I love this song. It's one that I've karaoke'd a bunch of times. It's great, and like when you get up and do it, like people take to it just because it's such a fun song. It's a good album overall. You should check out Sex Packets. It's got a little bit of variety on it.
Nice.
Scales, what do you think?
Two thumbs up.
Obviously, 2 thumbs up for
2
me
thumbs.
too.
One of my early, like, first memories of a music video, of like a rap music video, was this one. I just have like a vivid memory of being at my aunt's house watching MTV and this song coming on. And I was like, this is great. I love this. I love this guy, whoever he is with the funny nose. I was like, what, 7 or 8 years old? Yeah, just he's a great rhymer. Had a great beat. I like the hook. I wrote that it was funny when he's talking over the hook, little one-liners. Yeah, just a all-time
bass line.
Yeah.
The
I love when he's on that. Yeah, I was going to try to cue that part up, but I know exactly when it was.
How many thumbs you got, Duffy?
I'd give it 3 if I could, but I can only give it 2. This is, it's just a great, fun song. I mean, he was able to use this song to get out of a traffic, speeding ticket in the movie Nothing But Trouble. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, how was he able to do that? He did it. He did it. Yeah, I had to bring up that movie.
Of course.
But it's just this is a fun song. Everybody, everybody knows this, and I've never met anybody that dislikes this. It just kind of gets you moving. It's fun, and he's talented too.
Yeah, true story. First time I ever heard anything from this song was Weird Al. It's in one of his polka medleys on Off the Deep End.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I love those polka medleys are probably some of my favorites.
This is so good. I'll tell you should I do it like Humpty? Should I do my line here?
Absolutely.
That's it. I like to rhyme. I like my beats funky. I'm spunky. I like my oatmeal lumpy. I'm sick with this. Straight gangsta Mac. But sometimes I get ridiculous. I eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Hey, yo, fat girl. Come here. Are you ticklish? It's so absurd. It's so funny.
I give you 2 thumbs up for that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, my impromptu.
You get like a half.
Nah, I give myself a side thumb for that. I've done better, but it's fun. What do we got next?
All right, number 7 for me. We are now into 1995, February of 95, off the album The Infamous. This is Mobb Deep with Shook Ones, Part 2. Let's hear it, Duffy.
Check it out now. You want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. You all alone in these streets, cousin. Every man for theyself in his land, we be gunning and keep them shook crews running like they supposed to.
All right, so Mobb Deep, 2 rappers, part of Mobb Deep, Havoc and Prodigy. Rest in peace to Prodigy. He battled sickle cell anemia for a while, passed away 2017, so about 5 years ago or so. Mobb Deep was, they were both 19 years old when they recorded this track, so they were pretty young. They actually met at the High School of Art and Design in Manhattan. That's where they became friends. They were originally known as the Poetical Prophets. That was their first name. And they switched it to Mobb Deep at some point. They had lots of help from Q-Tip to get started in the business, which is pretty cool. Obviously, we know Q-Tip from... Yes. What do you say?
Another Queens guy.
Another Queens guy. Yep.
Yeah.
The Queensbridge. What else do I have to say? This song... gets into more of that gritty New York music, kind of like the Wu-Tang song. You just, it feels gritty, it feels grimy, you feel like you're on the streets, like you can connect with this story that they're telling, the crime, the drugs, it just, you feel it, just with the music and the lyrics. This song sampled Quincy Jones' Kitty with the Bent Frame a little bit. This song, just that, you might not have caught it on this when Duffy played it because it was kind of quiet, but that opening, that alarm type sound, it's gets me go. Like I hear that and it just gets me hyped up every time. And I think most people that like this song would tell you the same thing. Obviously this song featured in the movie 8 Mile, which I know there's a lot of rap fans that love the movie 8 Mile with Eminem. He freestyles over this beat. Just an all-time classic beat in itself, the song itself, even better. The one lyric that I wrote down for this, your crew is featherweight, my gunshots will make you levitate. I'm only 19, but my mind is old. And when things get for real, my warm heart turns cold. So good, so good. Castagna, what did you think about this one? Was this in your wheelhouse here or not?
I wrote down the last two lines there from I'm only 19, to My Heart Turns Cold. I never even heard of Mobb Deep before this. Wow. I never heard of Mobb Deep before we did these playlists. And apparently it's just something that was completely off my radar because they're another, famous, popular, influential group. Somehow just hadn't heard of them.
Yep.
I liked the first verse better. I liked Prodigy's verse. Havoc's verse was okay. Yep. And I feel like they're portraying reluctant or conflicted gangsters, not guys who necessarily want to be where they are. That whole part about my warm heart turns cold. It's like, you got someone who might be, a kind person or innocent, but they have to have that tough edge.
Halfway crooks, as they call them.
Interesting beat. The noisier parts reminded me a little bit of Bomb Squad production, which, that's Public Enemy. So they're coming up on that after this. I give it one thumb up. I didn't dislike it, but I was looking for an entry point to something I could really dig into, and it was okay.
Okay. All right, Duffy, you a fan of this one?
I am. I'm going to give this one another 2 thumbs up. Give me, I know Mobb Deep. I've listened to them from time to time. Never was huge into them, but again, still gives me those a little bit of that Wu-Tang vibe, where it's almost like the music and the instrumentals and stuff behind it are kind of just like setting the mood for what they're trying to speak about here, and it's kind of got like that a little bit not so happy vibe that they're going through some shit and they're just talking about some stuff, and it just sets that mood. And like you were saying, Prodigy, he was a great lyricist too, and he just flowed well, and I usually would kind of pick his verses out a little bit more, but I like them. They have a good vibe to it. It kind of goes along the lines of some of the other stuff that was out at that time that just I kind of gravitated towards.
Yeah, makes sense. One other last little tidbit on this one for all my fans of this era. There was a phrase that people used to say around this time, which was not "what up, son," but "what up, done." It was pretty. And where I came from, people always say that, what up, done, what up, done. And it actually came from one of Mobb Deep's, they say that in the song, and that's where it became famous. But the reason that they say that is one of their close friends growing up had a speech impediment, and that's the way he would say, what up, son. And he would say certain things, and they'd be like, oh shit, I like how that sounds. That's pretty cool. So and what up, done was one of the things and it became a thing. So never knew where that came from. Cool. I always just thought it was, I don't know what I thought it was. I didn't know what it was, but now I know where it came from.
That's cool. And then that guy could say, like, people said all that because me. The guy with the speech impediment.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's famous for that now.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Cass.
That's it. My next one is Public Enemy, Welcome to the Terrordome, from April 10th of 1990. If you want to cue that up. So Chuck D, booming voice. He sounds like, we're talking about guys who are 19 years old on a lot of these. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Mobb Deep, Nas, they're all 18, 19, 20 when they were doing their first stuff. Chuck D sounds like an adult. He was a little bit older than, but like, I've heard people say it sounded like, like an uncle telling, telling young people what to do. Booming voice, serious message. Flavor Flav is a comic foil, so that there's a little break from the seriousness. Very dense political lyrics, a lot of Afrocentrism, as I mentioned before. Chaotic beat. The Bomb Squad, their production is very like dense and crazy sounding. They take a lot of different elements and bring it together, so it's kind of impenetrable. I get this one 2 thumbs up. I think this is one of Chuck D's best lyrical performances. It's a pretty great track. I think Mike Tyson came out to this song maybe even for the Buster Douglas fight, which didn't bode too well for him.
Oh,
I have
man.
to double check, but I think he entered to this at least once, and it might have been the Tokyo fight. I have to check.
Nice.
Final.
That's unresearched. That's something that I heard at some point. I might be talking out of school, but Scales, what'd you think?
I gave this one a 1 thumb up. I knew Public Enemy. I knew this track. Chuck D's voice is just, what did I write down? I said he has a voice that just grabs your attention because it's strong. Like you just, you hear it and you're like, damn, I need to listen what the hell this guy's talking about. Like, sounds like you're getting like scolded by your father or something. It's like, oh my God, like this guy's talking a serious message right now. Let me listen to him. I wrote down that the background sound irritated me a little. Maybe that's why I didn't give it a full 2 thumbs up. I also wrote down
it's not musical.
Yeah, maybe it's just
it almost sounds like he's rapping over like the sounds of a city. You know, it's
Right.
like it's noisy.
yeah. Maybe I didn't connect with it, I guess.
Yeah.
The one lyric I wrote down, I rope a dope, the evil with righteous, bobbing and weaving, and let the good get them. Just like I said, I like Chuck D a lot after listening to this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know much about Flavor Flav other than the flavor of love.
And he was a perennial presence on our TV in college because he was on all those shows.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
he
sure.
was. And in our townhouse in general, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
What did you think, Duff?
I was never a huge fan of Public Enemy. I understand, like, you know, they did have a little bit more of a political message that they would try to throw out there. I saw them live once. Yeah, I saw them live once. I went to Rock the Bells way back when Rage Against the Machine was there, and you know their views with certain things, and you know Public Enemy, Wu-Tang was there. It was just that was an awesome concert.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, I got to see that, but yeah, even live, it's just their style just doesn't do it for me. You know, like it just doesn't grab me. But you know, Chuck D, obviously, huge figurehead. His voice just catches you. It's almost like, you know, you feel it in your chest when you're listening to the guy. But it's fascinating when you listen to all these guys, and it's like, you know, 18, 19 years old. Like, what the hell was I doing at that age? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing this.
Nope.
What was I doing? We were playing Madden. I mean, come on, Jesus. But yeah, so if I have to give it, I'll probably just do like 1 thumb up for this one too.
Okay. Yeah, and he makes mention of a terrible incident that happened in my neighborhood of Bensonhurst, where you know, a young black guy was murdered by, you know, a bunch of white guys who thought that I think the guy was there to buy a car, and they thought that some girl from the neighborhood was seeing him, and they killed him. It was a horrible thing that happened.
Oh my God.
That's the line about you know, like a son slain in Bensonhurst. So yeah, there's a lot of references in Chuck D's lyrics, and whether you agree with a lot of his stuff or not, like he's obviously very intelligent and skilled as an MC.
Yeah, for sure.
The lines I wrote were: "Respect's been given, how you living? Now I can't protect a paid off defect. Check the record and reckon an intentional wreck played off as intellect." So, you know, some of his wordplay.
It's good. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for my number 8 track, I'm going back to the Notorious B.I.G. I'm going to his posthumous album, Life After Death, the double disc album, certified diamond, 11 times platinum, released the album was released April of 97. This single, Mo Money, Mo Problems, released July of 97. Duffy, hit him with a little Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got box, who's mostly Dolce down to the blue top. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp.
That was Mace. That was not Biggie for all those listening, thinking that we're going crazy. Yes, this song is B.I.G. featuring Mace and Puff Daddy. I was also a big fan of Mace in this era. My cousin Michael, I think, introduced me to Mace's album, Harlem World. Great rapper himself. But this song, it really helped rap music cross that brink into the pop scene. For me, I was 12 years old. I was really getting it. This is like my wheelhouse right now. I'm really getting the rap music, and when this song came out, and this song really catapulted, like I said, rap music into another stratosphere. The production, the ensemble rappers that were combining to create these songs, the samples. This is Diana Ross, "I'm Coming Out," for those that don't know. It's, famous song. Just the so the song starts with Mace, and then Puff Daddy, and then the anticipation finally builds to Biggie's the final verse on the track, which is Biggie, and he starts it off with introducing himself, as he sometimes likes to do. BIGPOPPA, no info for the DEA, federal agents, mad because I'm flagrant. They tap my cell and my phone in the basement. His team supreme stays clean, triple beam, lyrical dream, I be that. This is like one of my favorite rap songs of all time. And on that note, Castagna, did this song do it for you or not really?
Let me read my notes. So it's a great production. I mean, Diddy definitely knows how to produce very well. Not really a story here. It's more bragging. It's kind of, like throwback to the prior era. Yep. Chorus, it's a pop song.
Yeah.
So great verse chorus structure. This is another thing with producing. It's like, this is how you get popular songs. Like, you have a good structure, good hook, it's well sung. A lot of doubled vocals. I said Mace is kind of forgotten about. Like, he was pretty good.
He's popular.
He's a mumble mouth.
Yeah.
I remember my friend saying back in the day, Mace sounds like he raps with a dick in his mouth. And then my stepbrother said, he's like, no, Charlie sounds like he has a dick in his mouth. Diddy sounds like he fell asleep, so he had to double himself up. So, the clean version sucks. I only really know the clean version. There's so many awkward pauses where you can't tell what's being said, and it makes it sound like they wrote it with awkward pauses. So it's like, whatever. Whenever DJs at a wedding or whatever play all the songs from this era, this is like the only one that I know.
Nice.
Everybody's singing along to everything else, and I'm like, I don't know this, and like at least I recognize this one. It's not my favorite. I don't dislike it. I give it. I went between 2 thumbs up and 1 thumb up. I'll give it a thumb and a side.
All right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it as a good pop song. It's just not my general aesthetic, but I'm not going to talk shit about it. It's not a bad song at all. It's just I don't love it, but it's good.
All right.
And definitely Biggie is the star on the track, even though
of course.
even though I've said that he doesn't do it for me if Biggie wasn't on it.
Yeah.
The track does nothing. It's like, okay, you had the two decent verses, and then his performance is what makes it.
Yeah. All right. Duffy?
Yeah. Again, when we start getting a little bit more into Diddy and Puff Daddy or whatever, never really a major fan of his per se, like his style, again, hugely talented, like you guys are saying. He knows how to put music together. Like, he makes it sound really good. He makes people want to listen to it. And end of the day, that's how you make money. That's how you become popular, and that's how you know that you know what you're doing. But with him, he does sound a little sleepy here. But again, not as sleepy as Mace. Mace always sounds like he just woke up, or he's in the middle of a nap, or maybe he's talking in his sleep. I don't know. I'd like to hear what he said a little bit more, but he just can't open his mouth a little bit. But I like this one. I'd probably go like a thumb and a half on this, just because of the Diddy part of it. But again, this is one of those. It just like the anticipation fills to hear Biggie. And BIGPOPPA, Junior Mafia, it's kind of like his crescendo here to that part of it, and everybody, when that part comes on and you're out at like a bar or whatever, everybody jumps in on that part.
Classic verse.
That's what I wrote down too. His opening lines. That was my highlight from this track. It took 25 years later after the song came out. I looked up. I was like, oh, that's what Mace said? And school me to the game. I was like, what did it say? Scooby Dooby Gang? What? Blow like Hootie. Like, that's the only line I ever.
Won't stop till he sees his name on a blimp.
And then I always thought it said "Can't stop scratching my name on a blimp" until I read it. I was like, I don't know what that
Scratching
means.
hard.
Yeah. I was like, I don't really get what that line means, but it's like, okay,
Now you know.
makes a little more sense now.
And if you don't know, now you know.
That's right. All right.
Truth.
Go ahead.
All right. My next one is The Pharcyde and the appropriately titled "Oh Shit" from November 24th of 1992. Let's get a little clip. Yeah, I threw this one in just because it's a lot of fun and there's some really good rhyming. It's pretty funny. Each of the three rappers on it has a completely different voice. So I wrote a lot of fun. Personalities come through. It could have been a stupid, annoying chorus if the stories, rhymes, and personas weren't so great. You know, hearing "oh shit" over and over and over could be really dumb, but it's like in the context of the track, it's fun, and you know, you kind of laugh when you hear the chorus. Yeah, I just like this track. It's a fun album. Scales, what do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I gave it 1 thumb up. It's it's another like fun song, kind of like the Humpty Dance. Like it just makes you feel good. I wrote down that it's definitely not a stereotypical rap song as far as the sound of it. There's a lot of different types of, I guess, like funk and jazz and pop, like different things going on. That's not normal. That makes it interesting to me, and it's different. I liked it for that reason.
Yeah.
I never heard of the Pharcyde, so it's the first time I've heard any of their tracks, and I liked it. I'll probably check out some more of their stuff. Apparently, they're from South Central LA, so a lot of your guys are New York. Is this the first one that's from? This is the first West Coast one, right? Which is.
Yeah. No, Digital Underground.
Digital Underground.
I believe are from West Coast.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, the rest of the guys are New Yorkers.
Yeah, and I watched a little interview with Fat Lip. He was talking about how the rhyme he's spitting in his verse is like a true story. He picked up a girl and ended up being a tranny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's crazy. Duff, what do you think?
Another fun one here. I give I'm gonna probably do a thumb and a half on this. But yeah, it's again, like you guys are saying, a lot of fun. You know, I like the music behind it here. It's got a little bit of that, like you said, jazzy kind of undertone here. But it kind of reminds me of another fun song, like, you know, Big Daddy Kane, with, you know, how his music just kind of makes you feel a little pumped up here and having fun. And yeah, it's just, you know, overall, it was a fun time. Thumb and a half. It's it's pretty straightforward, plain and simple. Oh shit.
And you played the rhyme that I wrote was like a killer, thriller, driller, tiller, out with the Miller brew, fill her up, took it till the damn judge puked. I like, you know, the way that they just kind of like, you know, hop around on the rhythm.
Yeah, it's good.
What do you got next?
I got next, number 9, one of my all-time favorite artists, Jay-Z. This is from his album Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, which is 5 times platinum. This is from September of 98, and the song is called Hard Knock Life. Duffy, hit it. So this track, Jay-Z had put out a couple albums before that one, but this one really put him on the map. He started to cross over a little bit into mainstream with this one. Obviously sampling Little Orphan Annie's It's a Hard Knock Life. You know, that was in the, you know, sampling musicals was a different route to take versus sampling, you know, jazz and funk and disco music. So he was going a little different route here, which was, I liked it. It's enjoyable to me. A little tidbit on this one. In order for him to clear the sample of that song, he actually wrote a letter to the copyright holders and told them that as a kid, he had actually went to see Little Orphan Annie on Broadway, and he had wrote a competition-winning essay at his school. So that helped him, I guess, gain the rights to actually use that track. And also his sister, his name is Andrea, and they called her Annie growing up. So I think it it wasn't just for shits and giggles. Like there was meaning behind why he went that route with that sample in that song.
That's cool.
Yeah, Jay-Z. This is his first track in my playlist. This one of the all-time greats. The guy was just dropping album after album. Some people will say maybe he's not the greatest lyricist of all time. He just put out a ton of stuff, but I mean, the guy put out a ton of hits from the 90s into the 2000s. Even currently, he's still putting out great music. Rap music wouldn't be what it is without Jay-Z, and that's that.
And he could swim through his money like Scrooge McDuck.
That's right. Yeah, diving into the golden coins. What did you think about this one, Cast?
So said, made it from the streets, but still tough. That's basically the lyrical theme. Clear production. I hate everything about this track, especially the chorus. The lyrics and rhymes do nothing for me. This is the only one I gave any thumbs down. I gave it 2 thumbs down. I always hated
this.
Wow.
This is the one.
When I saw it was on the playlist, it's like, oh, I can't believe I have to listen to this. And I listened to it twice. I tried to be as objective as I could. There was nothing for me. I love children. They're great. I love singing. It's great. I hate children singing. So the hook drives me crazy. I hate this song.
Damn it. There was like 4 Jay-Z songs I was picking from, and I was hoping to win you over with one, and I obviously choose the wrong one.
I always liked Can I Get A?
Okay.
I hate this song though. So just
all right.
Don't hate Jay-Z. Don't hate Jay-Z.
Just not this track.
Don't have enough of an opinion on it, but this I hate this song.
All right, Duffy.
You got 2 thumbs up from me.
Okay.
No, it's always a very hard choice deciding if I like this version better or if I like Dr. Evil's version better. So, not sure. I don't know which route I should go with that, but no, this is great. It's you can tell the production value here. It's just top notch. The sampling, just the way he was able to intertwine this together, and I just like his style of rapping. Like he's got like almost punctuation to his style at the end. Like I like to pick up on a lot of this. The way that they provide their lyrics is really interesting to me. I like listening for that, and that's why a few of my rappers are just so distinct with like how they provide that. And I like what he's doing here. I've always appreciated his style, and like you said, maybe not the greatest lyricist of all time, but I don't think he really saturated the market with a lot of stuff. But he's got a lot of hits out there, and it shows.
Yeah, for sure. The one lyric I wrote was actually the opening that you played is from standing on the corners bopping to dropping some of the hottest cars New York has ever seen, from dropping some of the hottest verses rap has ever heard, from the dope spot with a smoke glock fleeing the murder scene. So he did a lot of multiple rhymes in the same line in this song, which I thought was pretty good. So Jay-Z, and now Castagna, back to you, buddy.
I wrote down, I went from lukewarm to hot, sleeping on futons and cot to king size, green machines to green fives. I've seen pies, let the thing between my eyes, analyze life's ills. So even though I don't like it, I still found, a line. There's still something to cling to.
Right.
And I think that what he did with the Little Orphan Annie thing is innovative. I hate the sound.
It's not for you.
So,
yeah.
I was trying to decide which was the song on here that you were not going to like. And,
is this one?
There we go. Now we know.
Okay, pick number 10, A Tribe Called Quest, Steve Biko, Stir It Up, from November 9th, 1993.
Linden Boulevard, represent, Tribe Called Quest, represent, wanna flex, you're not Mad Cobra, MC short and black, there ain't no other, Trinity born black like Neo Long's grandmother, Tippin' shot all that, pipe dog ditto, honey, tell your man to chill, or else you'll be a widow.
So I got laid back, jazz / alternative rap, which is, Pharcyde is kind of alternative rap, but a little bit different from A Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest kind of gets, they're in that same group as De La Soul, Diggable Planets, and a few others. It's just a fun track. Great contrast between Phife Dawg and Q-Tip. I like the dynamic between them. Q-Tip is the one who tends to get more recognition, but almost without fail, I always like Phife Dawg's rhymes better than Q-Tip's. I like both of them. They both have good voices, and it's good that they don't sound anything like each other. Most tracks I prefer Phife Dawg. What do you think, Scales?
I give this one 2 thumbs up. Big fan of Tribe Called Quest. I kind of slightly remembered this song. When I played, I was like, oh yeah, I think I've heard this before. The Midnight Marauders album. That cover, when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, I remember my cousin Michael having that CD and showing it to me and playing it. And I was like, I remember, it took me back to my childhood. Q-Tip, I wrote down, voice is just so good and so distinctive. Like you know it's Q-Tip as soon as you hear him. Great beat. I wrote down just the jazz music that's in the back of this is, if like, I don't know, I was just bopping I just felt good listening to this song. It just got got good music to it. And then I wrote down a quote from some magazine that said, Tribe Called Quest, arguably the most intelligent and artistic rap group of the 90s. And it's hard to argue that. I mean, they're really damn good.
Yeah. You could just, they're one group I could put on an album. I don't even have to be paying attention. I could keep it, I could pay attention or have it on background, and it's just like a good listen. I don't really have to skip much.
Right.
Yeah. Duff, what do you think?
Huge 2 thumbs up. They're awesome. They fall into really that genre that I kind of gravitated towards as I got a little older with, like, again, J5, The Roots, even, just Rakim. It's just like they got that jazzy kind of vibe to it where, it's showing literally their roots from, where a lot of this music came from. And it just, this, again, Tribe Called Quest, they just, everything, like you said, you can put on one of their albums and just kind of listen to the whole thing beginning to end and just, kind of have it going in the background. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very talented and very influential too.
Yeah. Good stuff. So I didn't say, but 2 thumbs up from me. The line. So I'll give you my favorite line, but it's not my favorite part. So my favorite lines is, did not you know that my style is a top dollar, the 5-foot assassin knocking fleas off his collar, hip hop scholar, since being knee high to a duck, the height of Muggsy Bogues, complexion of a hockey puck. Even I would have said the Muggsy Bogues thing no matter what, because Duff, that was your favorite athlete from the 90s, I think.
Yeah, he was
when we did our Throwdown recently.
I think we did the snake draft.
Yeah, the snake.
And,
yeah. Okay.
On that,
I get a kick out of Fife Dog's 5-foot assassin moniker that he gave himself. My favorite part in the song though is when Q-Tip is going over the scratch towards the end. I am recognizing that the voice inside my head is.
That part is damn good.
That gets stuck in my head all the time. It's not even that it rhymes or anything. It's just cool the way he locks into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have your last one before our honorable mentions here. So.
Yes. So my number 10, going back to the West Coast to finish out my list. Going to November of 1999 for the 6-time platinum album 2001 by Dr. Dre. This is Forgot About Dre by Dr. Dre featuring Eminem. Let's hear it, Duff.
Crib with a studio and it's all full of tracks to add to the wall full of plaques hanging up in the office and back of my house like trophies. Then motherfuck the police gave you a tape full of dope beats. The boss said that I turn pop or the firm flop. Y'all are the reason that Dre ain't been getting no sleep. So fuck y'all.
They talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
This song takes me back to freshman year of high school. I remember my friend Jeremy had this album and he showed it to me, let me borrow it, listen to it at his house. I don't remember, but I was like, oh damn, this is great. And this song is just, Eminem had just come out and it instantly became one of my favorites. I love Dre. This track just gets me every time. It's just, I feel it. It takes me back in time. I know every lyric from the song. Eminem wrote this whole song. Didn't know that. They performed this at the Super Bowl a little bit for the halftime show. Brought me back there. Just that the Dre beat, opens up with that quintessential Dr. Dre beat and rhythm. You get the flavor of Eminem, the fast-paced rapping that he does. They tell the story, people are forgetting about Dr. Dre because he ain't dropped an album since The Chronic. He tried to start up the firm. which was a little group venture with Nas and AZ. Didn't pan out, but don't forget About Dre. He can drop a multi-platinum album anytime he wants when he feels like it, and he just showed you he did it again. What did you think about this one, Cast?
I wish I had that ability to just drop a multi-platinum album whenever I felt like it. Yeah, my albums wouldn't even go copper.
Paper.
I said, I again love Dr. Dre's production. I love his production style, thick, clear, and groovy. Awesome rhythm. They both lock really tightly into the groove. And as you alluded to, so I found out too, and doing a little research, Dr. Dre does not write all his own lyrics. He a lot of times is ghost written for, but it doesn't really matter because he's still a great performer with a great voice. It's like shitting on Frank Sinatra because he didn't write his music. Like, he's Frank Sinatra. He's an amazing singer. So Dr. Dre is great behind the console, and he's great, at the mic.
That's right.
Even if he's not writing his own stuff, he knows how to perform it. So this gets 2 thumbs up from me.
Oh, you scared me. Oh my God, my heart sank.
No, I liked this track a lot.
Nice.
I liked it. This is one of the few that I liked back in the day too, because when Eminem came out, he was a novelty, and I liked Slim Shady, and then this, it was like, oh, what's he gonna do next? And this was one of them, so I liked it.
Nice.
And his hook is fun.
Yeah, it is. Duffy?
Yeah, it's his hook is like one that everybody sings along to or raps along to. 2 thumbs up easily. Yeah, this is bringing me back to freshman year as well, when I first heard it, and everybody was like rapping along to it in class and going like walking through classes and stuff, and it was just what everybody was listening to at the moment. Yeah, Eminem was like just a big deal back then, and having them together, and Dre has just such a unique sound with like his music just drops, and it's like, oh, it's him. It's great song, and there's not a lot to say about it other than it's awesome. And can't imagine that too many people would disagree with us.
Yeah. And with my Mo Money Mo Problems song, and with this song, in Mo Money Mo Problems, Puff Daddy mentions Bad Boy Records, he'll still be on top in 10 years, in a decade, and in this one, Dre's talking about Aftermath Records. Well, it's going to stay on top. And those 2 record labels were pretty much the pinnacle from this time, like 97 until maybe mid to late 2000s. That was the pinnacle of the rap game, where those 2 producers who also rapped, and just had their finger on the pulse. I wrote down 2 lyrics for the song, one from Dre, one from Eminem. For Eminem, I wrote down, just his fast rhyming, I'll try to handle it. So what do you say to somebody you hate, or anyone trying to bring trouble your way? Want to resolve things in a bloodier way? Then study a tape of NWA. A little shout out to Dre there. And then Dre's in his last verse. So where's all the mad rappers at? It's like a jungle in his habitat. But all you savage cats know that I was strapped with gats when you were cuddling the cabbage patch. I always love that line. Mic drop, exactly.
That's the same one I wrote down too. That was awesome.
Yeah, iconic.
Yeah, the Cabbage Patch line got me. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. So let's just quickly do our honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So I have Big Daddy Kane once again with "Set It Off." That's from June 21st of '88. Duff, just play the opening acapella part.
Let it roll, get bold. I just can't hold back or forth. Cause I'm a man with soul, in control and effects. So what the heck? Rock the discotheques, and this groove is what's next. Attack, react, exact, or mac, or move you in.
So this is the first Big Daddy Kane track I looked up after I heard him on Burn Hollywood Burn, and I had to listen to it a whole bunch of times in a row. It's just like, what just happened? I think that rap had to evolve in the early through late 90s because Big Daddy Kane used every possible rhyming syllable ever in any word in this one song. It's just like, it's a tour de force. Complex multi-syllable internal rhymes, running over bar lines, a lot of clever assonance. Assonance is words that don't rhyme, but they sound alike. So it's, you could bend and make like kind of link words that do rhyme together through that. Rapid pace, rapid fire, very clean and articulate. Like if you listen to him, you can actually understand everything he's saying, even though he's going at light speed. So I love this track. Two thumbs, 2 big toes up. Love this song. I just didn't include it in my list because I thought Warm It Up Kane would be a little more accessible. The guitar part in this is mixed a little loud and it could be irritating depending on what sound system you're listening on. If you're listening just through a phone, it's like that fucking guitar is all I hear. But if you're listening to something where there's a little more bass, like if you're in the car or through headphones, it's not as irritating. Scales, what did you think?
I like this Big Daddy Kane track better than the one we did earlier, Warm It Up Kane. I like Set It Off. Just connected with me more. The beat, the rhyming is good. Like this guy's, he's really good. I mean, I'm gonna start adding some more Big Daddy Kane to my listening.
I'll feed you some tracks.
Yeah, please do feed me like a hungry hippo. I wrote down one lyric. I wrote down as I shoot the gift, MC stand stiff while my rhymes stick to you like Skippy and Jiff. That made me laugh. I was like, that's a good line.
Yeah,
peanut butter.
he's funny. He's his punchlines are always good.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice. Duff, what do you think?
This one is funny that you mentioned about the guitar little riff there. That's all I hear, and it just kind of irritates me as I'm listening through. I mean, I prefer a little bit more Warm It Up Kane for his style. But this one did do it as much for me. I'm just going to give one thumb up for this. It's not just the guitar riff. It was just like, this one just didn't do it as much for me as some of the other stuff we got on the list. Just personal preference, I guess you could say. And you're just going to have to deal with that.
That's fine. The lyrics I wrote were go with the flow, my rhymes grow like an afro. I'll entertain a gain, and Kane will never have no problem. I could sneeze, sniffle, or cough. Even if I stutter, I'ma still come off. The stutter line is what got me the first time I heard it. I was cracking up. It's like, I need to listen to this a few times.
It's really good.
And let's do your honorable mention, Scales.
Sure. There were so many rappers I wanted to honorably mention, but the one that I did mention is from August of 1997 off the album When Disaster Strikes. This is Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You don't want to violate, nigga, really and truly, yo.
Yeah, I loved Busta Rhymes. Tony got me into Busta Rhymes when he came out. So, I mean, we talked about how he came up with, or he was in the early 90s a little bit. But when he started releasing solo albums, when I got into him, and this song kind of put him on the map for me. The music video was also very funny, kind of Coming to America themed. Just his Busta Rhymes got that fast rhyming nature, and he's kind of comedic. Just connected with me at that 12, 13-year-old age. Just every time he dropped an album or a new single came out, I wanted to go buy it or download it or whatever the way I was going to consume it was. Just love Busta Rhymes. What did you think about this one, Cass?
Said beat reminds me of updated golden era. Same for Busta's flow. He always sounds like a man on the edge, something scary like a lid on a boiling pot. There's something that's always terrified me about Busta Rhymes. But he's like amazingly talented, and it's funny that you picked Busta and I picked Big Daddy Kane, because pretty recently in an interview, Big Daddy Kane was saying that Busta had the best flow in all of hip hop, I think, of all time. And he mentioned the song, I think, Turn It Up. He said the original, not the remix.
Yep.
And it says that he changes up his flow like 6 times. So, I mean, if Big Daddy Kane is giving you credit as one of, maybe the greatest of all time, like it means something. Yeah. And Kane also had Busta on a track. Busta and Q-Tip on a track on one of his early albums. So he was always someone who brought like the younger guys up. But yeah, this track is awesome. Like, I need to listen to more Busta.
I'll send you some.
Yeah.
I got more where that came from, baby.
It was good.
Duffy?
Yeah, Busta's fun. He's just like, he's a good time. And extremely talented. The way he his speed, the way he can rap so fast and just put it all together. And it's just like, even the beats and everything, it just makes it sound, it's so cool. And, this, with a lot of this stuff, you didn't really like look forward to like the music videos, like you were saying, but for him, they're always kind of comical. There was always something funny about him, kind of like, with Eminem, with some of his stuff that he would put out. But I think Busta's also kind of right up there too, with like, He's just, he's putting on almost like a show, but he's also very talented at the same time, and it's like he's putting together both of those worlds. And I always thought it was kind of cool.
I agree. Yeah, he did have some good music videos back in the day.
Two thumbs up for this one too. I know.
Yes, 2 thumbs up. Mm-hmm. And I can't really read my handwriting, but I think I have hit you with no delay. And so what you're saying, yo, silly with my 9 milli, what the dilly, yo. When I be at the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. Wild up in the club like we wild in the studio.
Yes, I had the same one. Opening line. Yeah.
The line about Julio cracked me up, and she a little cutie, yo. Like,
wait, she shaking make me want to get all in the booty, yo.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, so we'll very quickly just give our judgment here. So, Scales, which playlist did you prefer?
Well, you're not going to change my mind. You're not going to change my heart. My heart lies in the mid 90s to the late 90s. I choose my list. However, your list definitely opened up my eyes to artists that I've heard of but not listened to, and artists I never heard of. So I'm excited to check out more of their stuff. It's cool to see where, obviously there's rap music before your stuff that you listed here, but some of the groundwork was laid for my guys with your guys, what they did, Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and Tribe Called Quest with the alternative style of rap, laid the groundwork for guys that would come later like Kanye. And, it's so cool to see how far rap has come. And this wasn't even a long span from say like 88 to 98. It's like 10 years, and it changed a whole lot and got super popular, which, we lived through that. And I'm glad to have lived through that time frame. I think we grew up in a great time for music in general and a great time for rap music.
Yeah. All right, I'll go.
How did you feel about mine?
So like I said, my first time through, there wasn't a lot for me to latch on to. Though some tracks I like more than others. I immediately liked both Dr. Dre tracks. I'll definitely be listening to him. I'll be listening to Snoop. Have to listen to more Busta. Obviously, I still prefer the era that I listened to previously because it has more of what I'm looking for. But I see some of that in some of these other guys. Still can't really find an entry point to Nas. I don't know how much I'll really listen to him from here. Wu-Tang, I'm curious to check out some more stuff. Mobb Deep, I might listen to a track or two. Definitely want to listen to more Tupac. Biggie, I mean, again, I'm not trying to be a hater.
I'm going to find an entry point for you.
I've heard it just doesn't do it for me. So that's
nice.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's just, I realized this right before we started taping. It's kind of like rap had to change from the era that I liked to what it became. Same way that I listened to heavy metal, and in the 80s, the thrash bands, it was like who could play the fastest, who could play the heaviest, who could rip the solos, the longer songs, more complex. All right, but you reach a point where you have to come back. It's like who could write the best song, like who can do the best overall. So I think that the golden era, what's referred to as the golden era, when I'm saying, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Rakims, they reached their logistical end and it had to go into something else. And, I think that was a little more palatable for that generation. It was like the right sound at the right time. So I still prefer my era, but there are things in what you sent me that I can definitely get into and will.
Nice. It makes me happy.
Gotta make the final call.
I'll make mine quick here. While Scales, I love your playlist. I mean, I feel like I resonate to that one really well, just because when I was growing up, that's what I was listening to at that point. Cast, I love your playlist. It's, as I got older, I started to appreciate, all right, where did this music come from? Where did these influences come from? Oh, okay, are you making the connection here? Okay, that's cool. And, I want to get a little bit more into that and listening to some of those songs. I want to get a little bit more into Big Daddy Kane and, I want to listen to more Rakim and all that. But at the end of the day, it's what kind of, I grew up with, what I feel like I can connect to the most here. I got to give the edge towards Scales with this one. My point goes towards him. But yeah, both of you guys really nailed it, I think, with, providing something that showed a little bit of both and, a lot of things that a lot of people I think can now connect with and want to hear about. So,
yeah, that's great. And ultimately what we wanted to do here is hopefully anybody listening to this, if you're already a rap fan, hopefully you get to go down memory lane and enjoy some of the stuff that you like, and maybe hear things you weren't as familiar with, like all of us were. And if you're not a rap fan, maybe you heard something that'll pique your interest, and now like, okay, there's a whole new world that's open to you. So very varied genre. And there's a lot that we didn't include that we could have covered, but now that's your job. You let us know as fans, what do you like of what we played? What do you like? What don't you like? Why do you like it? Why do you hate it? Why are we stupid? Why are we the most amazing hosts that you've ever seen? Let us know what you think about this show that we just did, and tell us maybe some new people who do it right, to do it kind of in an old school way. But like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, so that you know when we drop new content, and we'll see you next time. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram at Throwbacks Technodrome Pod, and we just hope that you're enjoying the show, and we hope that you enjoyed the music along the way. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Always love chocolate.
Always.
Forever.